crowd had dragged itself up the slope, a slow, dark stain on the brown earth of Galilee. These weren't the comfortable ones. These were the farmers whose land was taxed raw, the widows with calloused hands, the fishermen whose nets mostly brought up worry. They smelled of sweat and dust and too much hard living. They had come to hear the man, the carpenter who spoke with an authority that cracked through the silence. He did not stand on a gilded pulpit. He sat down on the hill. Just sat down easy in the dirt like a man waiting for a crop to come in, and they gathered close, knee to knee. The sun beat down, but when he started to speak, the light seemed to change, to come from within the words themselves. It wasn't a speech of how to gain, but how to lose, and in the losing, find everything. He started with a quiet, certain thunder, turning the world upside down. He spoke of the ones who were nothing, the ones who hurt, the ones who knew their own empty, necessary place in the scheme of things. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. That word settled like cool rain on a scorched field. He told them that the meek, the ones pushed aside, they would inherit the earth. The hungry, the ones who craved a justice they never saw, they would be filled. This was not a soft wish. It was a promise hammered out of granite. He looked across their tired faces and told them they had a hard, vital job to do. They weren't just the beneficiaries of grace. They were the preservation. Ye are the salt of the earth. Salt, the necessary bitter binder that stops the rot and brings out the flavor. And they were the lamp on the stand, the light meant to pierce the deep, common darkness. And he said the old law was still true, but he had come to drill deeper, to the root of the intention. It wasn't enough to simply avoid the killing. The hatred in the heart was a murder itself. It wasn't enough to hold back the hand. The lust in the eye was the same betrayal. He showed them that prayer wasn't for public display, but a secret conversation with the Father. He warned them against the things that rot the spirit, the desperate grabbing for worldly goods. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt. The real stuff, the only wealth that mattered, was eternal. He called them to a terrible, profound mercy, to forgive the debts of others if they wished their own ledger cleared. And then came the hardest charge, the love of the enemy. Not just the neighbor, but the one who does you wrong, the one who takes your coat and asks for your shirt. You must give it. This was the narrow gate. When he was done, there was no cheer, only the heavy silence of conviction. They knew this path was steep, but they also knew they had been given the whole map to God's country. They had heard the bedrock truth, and that truth demanded more than just hearing. It demanded doing. It demanded building a life that could withstand the storms, built not on shifting sand, but on the solid, undeniable rock.